What do you think about what's happening in Ukraine in that our government is sending all the money and war machines and everything over there and leaving us wide open here, starving us out? What do you think the purpose of that? What is it that they want?
I know exactly what it is. It's called globalization. And the thing is, they will subvert America's power in order to gain global dominance. When you have organizations like NATO, the World Economic Forum, they don't want us to have anything. They shut down now they say there's a baby food shortage. They don't have enough baby formula because one of the factories, supposedly they had mold in it, and that produces nearly half of all the baby formula. So what I'm saying is, and they're shipping baby formula to the Ukraine. So this is what happens is we have what is called the military-industrial complex that gets the majority of our funding. So as soon as they got out of Afghanistan, just conveniently, they started another war in the Ukraine where they can send all their money, they can send all of our old weapons, and they got to cut checks, and we got to buy new weapons here because we're giving them all of our old stock. It's no different than it's similar to the Iran-Contra. In the 80s, what happens is we gave Nicaraguans a bunch of guns. They gave us cocaine. In the CIA, there's a movie, it's called American Made, and Barry Seal would actually fly the cocaine into Mena, Arkansas, where, believe it or not, the Clintons, who are, Satanist worshipers, the worst people on earth, where he was the governor, but they would take that cocaine, they would put in a U-Haul truck, and they would drop it off to Freeway Ricky Ross in LA. They would drop it off to Griselda Blanco in Florida, and they created the crack epidemic. And that's another reason why they're systemically, opportunistic, because they made, a handful of crack was worth the same as much of a trunk full of powdered cocaine. That was done to put, in my opinion, put black people in jail. But regardless of that, what I'm saying is our country, the people that run it, they don't necessarily care about us. They actually care about establishing dominance worldwide. So when and this is how you know they're hypocritical. Like you look at all these, when I talk about the multinational corporations, like the military industrial complex, like the pharmaceutical industrial complex, all of these companies are hypocritical. You look at Disney, right? They're fighting the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. Yet when they put out a movie, The Beast of Dumbledore in China, they edit out all the gay scenes. Disney says, they want to put black characters as the main lead. When they put out the Star Wars movie, they had to airbrush John Boyega, the black character, off the poster in China because the Chinese people don't like black people. So I'm saying these countries during the Gay Pride Month, every single company is going to put a gay flag during whatever Gay Pride Month is. But when they put that their same profile picture in Saudi Arabia, they'll never have a gay flag because in Saudi Arabia, it's basically a crime to be gay. You look at the NBA in 2016, because Charlotte banned trans people from using the same bathroom as their sex they want to pick, and making their biological sex. They took away the NBA All-Star game. Now the NBA is doing games in the United Arab Emirates coming up where they actually throw gay people off a building. So the problem is that we have corporations making the decisions, and they're all hypocrites. So they actually want to destabilize America in order to gain dominance. It's like, this is a perfect example. You look at your Apple iPhone, and at the factories in China where they make these, it's called the Foxconn factories. There, they treat the employees so bad they have to have suicide nets. And the reason why they do that is because they don't want to pay them and actually give them a living wage. They want to take advantage of them. Just like when Nike was making tennis shoes with Malaysians for 10 cents, then they sell it to us. So my problem is now this is just another way for people, for congressmen, politicians to get money through their political action committees from Pfizer, from Halliburton, for these companies. And that's what's happening in Ukraine. It's all about money and world dominance, and it's about America last, not America first.
Are you concerned as a result of what they're doing over there in Ukraine that Putin may somehow or another get really ticked off and start a worldwide war or something?
Well, I think we want to have the world war just as bad as Putin. And so honestly, I think Putin probably knows that. And I don't necessarily think Putin's a good guy, because journalists that speak out against him, he'll have them killed. So what they're doing is they're using Ukraine as just another way to start a never ending conflict, very similar to the Middle East. But now that you have Europe involved, people are a little more, they say, the people in Ukraine are the same color as you and me. Yeah. Yet in Ukraine, they also have the Azov battalion, and, which are actual Nazis. So what I'm trying to say is they're trying to get, it's very similar. After 9/11, everybody's like, oh, let's go kill all the Muslims. Let's do it. Riled up the troops because everybody saw those towers fall down. Now people are seeing all these sad stuff coming out of Russia and Ukraine. They're like, oh, we got to kill Vladimir Putin. So if Putin drops a big bomb, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But I think it doesn't matter what Putin does. America is going to get involved even more in the war in Ukraine. They're going to get involved until we have troops there, 100%.
That's amazing. what is the solution to all of this mess that's happening, at least in our country? Because I put my country first, America first, right?
Of
What do you
course.
think is the solution to all this mess?
Well, the first thing people have to do, and people always ask me that, is people need to start taking care of themselves. We need to go outside and get some little exercise, a little walking, maybe, don't overeat. Because what happens is everybody's on antidepressants. And then if you watch any antidepressant commercial, it says one of the side effects is suicidal idolization. So you imagine we live in a society where people come to a doctor and say, I'm depressed. I think I want to kill myself. Oh, well, here's some pills that are going to make you want to kill yourself more. So, that's what they're doing. And then you also look at these young kids. What happens is all these teachers are grooming them. See, when I went to school, you didn't know your teacher's sexuality. The teacher didn't have a Facebook account. I didn't know about their gay cruise or what they did, after 3 p.m. or whenever school ended. I didn't know. But now all these teachers, they actually want to get involved in these kids' lives. They want to have, like they have in a lot of these schools, and this is multiple schools. This is not a conspiracy, what they call changing rooms, where their kid can change into, if their parents don't approve of them cross-dressing, they can go put on a dress in a changing room as soon as they get to school in first period. Yeah, have you not seen that, Jesse? There's multiple schools. Yeah, so Google it. You got to look it up. It's called changing rooms. So what this is doing is they're attacking kids. They're making all, they're making all the kids basically with all these teachers that are, giving them, the child grooming, making them feel like that the only way to get attention is to say that you're LGBTQ. So they're going after kids. They're going after our mental health. So the first and foremost, before we can fix our countries, we got to take some self-responsibility and try to fix ourselves, because everybody's so depressed. Misery loves company. That's why these people are like, oh, be miserable with me. That's why they can't stand to see somebody winning. That's why jealousy is so bad. Comparison is the thief of joy. So I tell people, before we want to fix America, we got to stop worrying about the materialism. Everybody's like, oh, if I don't have this Lexus car, I feel uncomfortable. If I don't have this inanimate object, I'm not going to feel good. Yet nobody cares about you. As a matter of fact, this is what they say. Your biggest fan is a stranger and your biggest enemy is one of your close friends. Yeah. So in order to fix our country, we need to take more self-responsibility in fixing ourselves. And then I think once we have more people that actually have the ability to fix themselves, then we can fix the problem. But we're never going to be able to fix a problem when people are constantly depressed and fighting with each other. Because what they do that on purpose, they make us fight each other so we don't go after the politicians. So we don't actually solve the problem. It's like this abortion thing. What's going on now? You see all the conservatives on the right were for the last 2 years saying, I don't want a vaccine mandate. I don't want the government telling me anything about my health care or health rights. But then you had the people on the left the last 2 years saying, oh, you got to mandate vaccines. You got to do it to travel. You need a vaccine to work. And then now all the people on the left are saying, I don't want the government involved. My body, my choice. Right. And now you got all the people on the right saying, oh, the government can restrict your abortion. So what it's doing, it's meant to make you both look like hypocrites. And now we each have ammo to shoot at each other because, oh, you should change your opinion. You didn't want the government involved in our healthcare. Yeah. Now you do want the government. So what it's doing is these people, these social engineers, I call it, are awesome at doing this, at making us fight with each other. So we need to take self-responsibility and try to fix ourselves, try to get in better mental, physical, emotional state, and then stop fighting with each other and start fighting the people that are engineering us to, be weak, be fat, and ruin our country, Jesse.
Yeah. What a mess.